Okay, from class, this is what we worked on. Or if you're watching it before we did this in class, this is what we are going to do in class. Okay. Anyway, to do this problem about finding the missing number, you have to first know the slope formula. So let's go ahead and write that down. Okay? And we need to label each one of these. And now we need to write the formula. 8 minus 1 over x minus 3 is going to equal 7. Okay. Now, I know that 8 minus 1 is truly 7. And I know that 7 is the same thing as 7 over 1. So what does this number need to be so that when I subtract 3, I get 1? 4 minus 3 is 1. So the answer to number 1, x is 4. Let's do number 2. Label x1, y1, x2, y2. And we're going to put y minus 9 over 5 minus 2 equals 2 over 3. And something minus 9 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. What minus 9 would be 2? 11. Aha! That's it. Number 3. It's going to get harder. x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have 7 minus y over 10 minus 6 has to equal 5 over 4. Well, 10 minus 6 is 4. So 7 minus what would be 5? 2. So y is 2. Number 4. x1, y1, x2, y2. 7 minus y over 10 minus 6. Did you notice that that was the exact same problem? Oops on my part. So y is just 2. Moving on to number 5. x1, y1, x2, y2. So that is going to be y minus, be careful, negative 4 all over 7 minus 5. It needs to equal 4. I don't know about that. This one looks difficult. Well, I know that this is a plus sign. Okay. And I know that 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1. Okay. And I know that 7 minus 4 is, 7 minus 5 is 2. Uh-oh. How can this, with a 2 at the bottom, end up with 4 over 1? Oh, wait. If I made this 8, 8 over 2 is the same thing as 4. So let's see if that's true for those that need to see it in the calculator. Control divide. 8 over 2. Look at that. Well, I know some of you are saying, but you have a 1 there. Well, let's see, is 4 over 1 the same thing as 4? It is. Remember, we talked about slope, putting it over 1 when you're doing rise over run. So you would go up 4 and right 1. Well, 4 over 1 is the same thing as 4, which is the same thing as 8 over 2, because this is a division problem. 8 divided by 2. So now, what plus 4 would be 8? The answer is 4. Let's do this one here. x1, y1, x2, y2. 1 minus 3 over 2 minus x has to equal 0. Oh boy. Okay, so this here would be negative 2, And I think I made a mistake on this worksheet. That should be 1. So hopefully I will change that before you get this paper. So that should be 1. That's a mistake. So let's fix that. That should be 1. That should be 1. So 1 minus 3 over 2 minus x, and what do we get? 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And how can I make this be 1? Oh boy, that's hard, isn't it? Well, this needs to be negative 2. Because anything over itself is going to be 1. How can I make that negative 2? 2 minus what gives me negative 2? The answer is negative 4. No, it's not. It's just 4. Let's show you. If I type 2 minus and I say negative 4, this is what it's going to give me. 6. But if I make 4 positive and then just say 2 minus positive 4, then I get the negative 2. Okay? So be careful. X is equal to 4. That one was a hard one, and I'm sorry about that mistake there. That should have been a 1. So make sure if you're watching this before class and that mistake is not corrected, you tell your teachers. On number 7, x1, y1, x2, y2. Negative 4 minus 6 over negative 2 minus x has to equal 2. And I know 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1, so now I need to figure out how this got to that. So negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. Negative 2 minus something has to give me a number that will reduce this to 2. Okay, well, if I have negative 10, control divide, negative 10 at the top, what number can I put at the bottom so that it will give me a positive 2? So let's try. What about 5? That gave me a negative 2. I need a positive 2. Control divide, negative 10 over negative 2. We press enter. What did I do wrong? You're absolutely correct. I should have divided by negative 5 because I need a negative 2. Excuse me, a positive 2. And voila, there it is. So we now know that this number needs to be negative 5. So what minus this will give me negative 5? Well, we can do that in a calculator. Negative 2 minus, is it 1? No, it's negative 3. Negative 2 minus 3 is, so x has to be negative 5. Last question. 9 minus negative 7 over x minus 2. 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1, and 9 plus 7 is 16. And why did I do that? Because that should be a plus sign. And x minus 2 has to be, I don't know. What does this number need to be so that I get 4 over 1? Well, 16 divided by 4 is 4 over 1. So now, x minus 2 equals 4. What does this number have to be? What minus 2 is going to be 4? And hopefully you said 6 minus 2 will give me 4. So x is 6. So this is what we are going to do in class, or this is what we did in class, depending on when you're watching this video. And if you have questions, come tutor. Talk to you later.